Hey guys, I'm Johnny Alchemy and thanks for checking out my video. Today on June 3rd we have a new moon in Gemini. New moons are all about fresh starts, infinite possibilities, and becoming clear on our future goals and intentions. Landing in Gemini, this focuses on being open in our communication with others, to attain and expand new knowledges, to listen, to ask, and to learn in our conversations, rather than seek or offer answers. This energy invites you to lead with your curiosity. It asks you to bounce ideas off of others and to hopefully gain new insight through listening and receptiveness. Not only is this meant to refine your communication skills, but also help you become clear on future intentions that you may have for yourself during this new moon phase. So for this reading, guys, we will have 4 stacks, 6 cards each. I will be analyzing a possibly new intention that you have on your mind, someone who you can talk to gain some insight, how to be more receptive in this conversation, what you can expect to learn, and how this will impact your potential intention. At the end of the video, I will draw one general advice card for all of you guys, which I will link with the timestamps down below. And once again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so we can keep in touch for future readings. Also, if you'd like a reading done by me personally, feel free to check out my Fiverr account, which I will link in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for listening, and let's get on with that reading. Okay guys, we're going to start the reading. We have stack 1, 2, 3, and stack 4 right here. I will list the timestamp for each stack in the description box below to get to your reading much quicker. And I would suggest taking the time now to pause the video. Take the time to clear your mind, connect with your intuition, and connect with the universal energies all around us at this moment. When you're ready, feel free to play the video and then choose the stack that you are most drawn to, the one that is calling out to you the most. Okay guys, so we're going to start the reading. We're going to start off with stack 1. Let's see what we got. Okay, let's see. Okay, move this over just a bit. Okay, guys. So, in terms of this, let's see. So, a current intention you might have right now, that's going to be the 2 of Wands reversed. So, with the 2 of Wands, a current intention, you may be going through a phase right now where you want to start leaving your comfort zone, where you want to start expanding and going off into the unknown, possibly start off a new adventure or journey that you want to accomplish, that you find that you're just very drawn to. But with the reverse aspect, you may have trouble planning. You may have trouble focusing your energies or to making sense of how to approach this journey. And so right now it might just be leading to frustration, to doubt, to just general exhaustion. And so, but here it shows that you do possibly want to leave your comfort zone right now, but you may be fearful of what is out there because you don't know what's out there. It's the unknown. So if this is an intention that is resonating with you right now, let's keep going on, you know. In terms of someone who can offer you insight, let's see, we got the Queen of Wands reversed. This is actually a very good one. It's both being Wands also. So with the Queen of Wands reversed, you want to talk to someone who probably has gone through times where they had to build themselves up, rebuild their sense of self, rebuild their confidence, who is able to understand their capabilities and their worth through a hard time. This person, I can see how this person can definitely help you on your journey, because this person either is able, if they can do that for themselves, hopefully you can find some wisdom in what they have to offer through their experiences in terms of how to build yourself up, how to build up your own self-confidence, your self-worth, etc. Let's look even deeper, guys. So, in terms of a challenge, so here, in terms of a challenge, I see the 3 of Pentacles. So with the 3 of Pentacles, this is actually a very good sign in general. A 3, especially upright, usually means collaboration with people, working in teams. You're reaching out and working together in a group to attain a certain goal with success. So, with the 3s especially, on the challenge to communication, I would say is, as you can see, there are 3 people here working. You have the stonemason, who's the youngest, who's the apprentice. You have the priest, and you have the architect. All these people have varying skill sets and varying skills that they bring to the table. They each have something different, a variety of skills that they can all put together to make something happen. Here they're doing renovations on a cathedral. So here that's the same exact aspect. I think in terms of a challenge to communication, especially when you're in such a new phase, such as the Two of Wands, be like that apprentice, the one who here is the apprentice, the youngest one here, and you got the two people here, the priest and the architect, who are much older and possibly have more experience, life experience in general, through their own experiences in life. So I think here in terms of a challenge to communication is to understand that there are other people here who have much more experience than you. In terms of the stonemason, he's working, he does a very good job, he's apprentice, he's working toward mastery, but he's not a master yet. And there are a lot of people here, especially like the Queen of Wands, they might have some experience that if you're not open to it, you may miss out on. You may miss out on very useful insight to help you get past this reverse Two of Wands stage in your life. So here, I think in terms of a challenge, you have to be open to others' experience and understand that even though they may be in a different field than you, or they may have different experiences that have nothing to do with what you want to do, there's still going to be overlap in terms of general wisdom and insight that you have to pay attention to, and that will probably help you on your journey. So let's move on in terms of how to be more receptive and listen during this conversation. We got the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So with the Wheel of Fortune, you have to learn to kind of let go and surrender to the universal energies that are around you at this moment. I think especially here in terms of the Two of Wands, and especially dealing with someone who's going to rebuild your confidence and being in this position where you have to just kind of sit back and accept that, you know, that you're in this learning phase, you're in this apprentice type level phase where you're going to be the one that doesn't know anything. You're going to be the one that doesn't understand how things work yet. You may not even have a solid plan for yourself. So it may feel like as you're talking to these people that you may be feeling that your confidence levels are being under attack or scrutinized, or you may be getting defensive over your new passion or adventure that you want to pursue. So here in the Wheel of Fortune reversed, it's really asking you to let go and to kind of understand that this is the process. You have to start from zero in order to make it somewhere. You have to start from not knowing things before you start knowing things. You have to start, you have to start on the bottom, really, especially with the reverse. You have to start from the bottom before things start looking up, and that's what how the Wheel of Fortune works. This thing is always turning. That's the wheel of life, guys. So that's how the wheel's always turning. Everything is always changing. Some days we're up, some days we're down, but either one, it's about learning. So here, I think in terms of how to be more receptive, you have to be open and kind of let go of all these things that you know, all these preconceived notions that you may have about yourself or your journey or whatever it is, and to just be open and allow yourself to be on this bottom of the wheel right now. And that's the most potential to learn and the most potential to change if you allow yourself to be there, even though it may be difficult, and to kind of put your insecurities aside. So let's move on in terms of what type of insight you will learn. So here, in terms of insight from this conversation, if this is something here with the Two of Wands that is money-based, that you are going for a new venture that will make you money, you might learn something here about greed. The Four of Pentacles here, it's always talking about greed in terms of you attain a lot of money. Look, he has all these gold knapsack that he's sitting on, just guarding his money. So you might learn something in terms of a wisdom that has to do with greed. Look, even more pentacles here with the Three. So I think there is something here with the money aspect in terms of a new venture that you're trying to pursue. So you might be learning that, greed, when you are working towards something that is a financial adventure or financial venture of any kind, you have to be careful of not to let money be the focus of your journey, because honestly, when you're in these phases, in the beginning phases, money isn't the focus of your journey. It's usually about gaining personal freedom, being free to do things that you love, pursuing things that you love. That's the real purpose of all these journeys, not the money. So I think if you are able to put yourself in this position of being the apprentice, of being on the bottom and being at this stage of zero where you have the infinite potential to absorb like a sponge everything that you can in this state right now, you can learn something very valuable in terms of greed, in terms of your long-term journey right now that can possibly help you. So let's see how this will impact your potential intention. Oh, perfect. It's the Judgment card. But this can have a very big impact in terms of your general adventure right here. In terms of the Judgment card, it is about attaining new awakenings in some sense. Like these people are awakening from the dead. There's a certain call from a higher being or higher self or higher state of being, and now these people are waking up and now they have to answer to it. Will they answer this call with their new enlightened minds, their new awakened senses? And so here, I think, especially throughout this whole journey, especially with the Pentacles, especially with the two Wands right here, I think this is all very much in alignment. The fact that if you're open to this person, to allow yourself to say, hey, I'm not in a very confident position right now. I am very lost in what to do. And if you allow yourself to be in that state, these people and these experiences will be able, if you're open to them, will be able to help you down the road to gain some type of new awakening that will hopefully let you go past the stage right now of the Two of Wands reversed and hopefully move on where you're able to move into the unknown and make that leap of faith and take that step. That will hopefully help you with new awarenesses, new enlightenment, new senses of self, and a direction that you want to take. So let's go over this, guys. This is actually a really good deck. I really like this one. So, in your current new intention that you may have right now is kind of leaving your comfort zone, even though you're struggling right now. You may not have a plan. You may be doubting yourself. You may be meeting frustrations, trying to attain it, and so you're kind of stuck right now. And you may even be fearful of even just taking the first step. But the fact is, you are thinking about trying something new, and that's a great new intention for a new moon phase. In terms of someone you can talk to, look for someone who is good with their confidence levels. Someone who has built themselves up, built up their sense of self, who is confident in who they are, so they can kind of impart some confidence here in you in your journey to rebuild that confidence. In terms of challenges right here, be like the apprentice in the Three of Pentacles. Be open to being the youngest one, the one who doesn't know everything that's going on, who has the most to learn, and understand that this says nothing about who you are. It's the fact of you're rebuilding your sense of self, of who you are, and your confidence levels. So, in terms of a challenge, be like the apprentice. Work with other people, but also be open to their experiences, all their diverse experiences. Even though they may not seem that it has anything to do with what you want to do, there is still something to be learned. In terms of how to be more receptive, again, be in that state of the apprentice. Be in that zero state where you can just take everything in, that sponge state where you're on the bottom and you're just taking everything in right now. Be open to the universal energies around you to kind of let go of all these preconceived notions that you think that you know, that you want of yourself, of your journey, of who you are. Just let all that go. Let the learning come in. In terms of what you will learn, it could be something dealing with money. It could be something dealing with greed, especially. Be careful not to make money the focus of your journey. Don't be greedy. Always understand that you can give back to yourself, give back to others with your money, and use it in flow. And how this will help you in your overall intention, it will give you new awarenesses and it will awaken something within you, possibly that can help you move on into a new stage in your life where you're pursuing a passion or adventure that you love, that will hopefully give you a new clear sight and a new direction of where to go. And this awakening will be that calling that you need right now to say, hey, I'm going to take this step now that I found new awareness. This calling, this person is an angel that's calling all these people, reawakening themselves from the dead, letting go of this old self and being someone new. And this is the calling that you need right here so that you can move on past fear, past all the troubles that you've gone through, and to move on with your journey. I think that's all I see for this stack right now, guys. A really wonderful stack if you pick this one. And let's move on to the next. Okay, guys, so we're moving on. Let's move on to stack number 2. Let's see what we have. Let's go down here. Okay. These guys over. Wow, okay. Let's see. So, okay, in terms of a new intention for this new moon phase that you have on your mind, let's see. We have the Seven of Swords. Okay, so interesting. I've had kind of these cards last time too. So if you were here, if you watched my previous video, and if you got the Seven of Swords last time, this may be talking about you. Let's see. So, Seven of Swords, we have someone who is doing something with a certain strategy to gain a certain desired goal. This strategy usually may not be the most PC or the most moral or ethical strategy. Usually this person might be doing something very sneaky right now. It might be very... not maybe doing some maybe underhanded or shortcut type of way of doing something, and most of all in the hopes of not getting caught with something. So this might be in your new moon intention, if this is something that has been on your mind, either someone who has wronged you or done something like this, where you might be suspicious of someone. That is something to look out for in terms of maybe wanting to address this person in terms of if we're going to start talking to someone. So let's see. Wow, okay. Okay, in terms of someone who can give you insight, I'm seeing here in terms of lovers, literally a lover. And in terms of, especially with the Seven of Swords, usually those two mean possible infidelity, possibly maybe someone's cheating. Maybe there is something going on that is going on behind another person's back. So with the lovers here, I think this is literally talking about lovers. In terms of someone who can give insight to this is possibly confronting your lover in some type of way with something that went on with the Seven of Swords. Something where possible cheating, possibly some sneaky behavior, possibly some trickery or deception. And your lover is the only one who can give true insight to that. That could be a possibility. So let's move on. Let's see. So challenges to communication. So with the challenges, Page of Wands. So with the challenge here, it seems like, especially if this lover here, I'm getting a lot of male energy. Look, males here, if you're a female right now and you got this card, if you have a boyfriend, even if you're male and then you have like a significant other of some kind, this could be the other person. This person here, in terms of challenges to communication, I see this, if this is something that really has to do with cheating and infidelity, a challenge into communication is the Knave of the Page of Wands. He wants to kind of experiment and be free and go on a new journey on his own. And I use the word experiment because maybe he's not ready for a relationship. Maybe he just is ready to be alone and to start playing around and trying out new things to figure out exactly what he does want. So that could be a big barrier to communication in terms of if this really has to do with any type of infidelity or if this resonates with you. So let's see. Moving on, we have the how to improve receptiveness. So we got the Hermit. The Hermit. In terms of receptiveness, you might have to just talk about how exactly this person's actions in the Seven of Swords, how it affected you. With the Hermit, it's all about you anyway. It's all about finding things about yourself and all this other stuff. So with the Hermit, you have to really focus on how did this person's actions affect me and our relationship? What is it about what this person did with his wanting to experiment, wanting to go explore, wanting to start new things, that possible infidelity, how those actions, whatever they might be, affected you. How is it making you feel almost like the Hermit, where you're almost alone? So here, in terms of being receptive, you have to listen and understand that person's point of view, because that's just who they are. We can't change that. Let's accept that. But now the only thing you can do is understand, is to hopefully make the person understand that, hey, your actions had consequences, not only on our relationship, but with myself too. How did this affect me? And so let's move on. It's like, what is the insight? Oh my God, wow. The insight you learned? The Three of Swords. This is very much looking like a cheating situation or infidelity situation of some kind to me, guys. Because what you learn from this is you might learn heartbreak. You may have to break up with this person. I mean, the cards here are very strong in this message right now. The insight that you will learn is that you may have to go alone with the Hermit, as the Hermit is. You may have to go alone and separate away from this person because they may not be good for you. The insight that you learned is that this person may have broken your heart. They have felt you've felt possible strong mistrust. You have had your feelings hurt to the point where you're taking it very personally. And look at these Three Swords. It's true pain and discomfort here. And so in terms of what insight that you'll learn from this conversation, it'll obviously give you some type of closure, or may even give you the truth. And, not to say those are going to be easy things to digest, but at least you will know the truth and know the true intentions. And it may not be favorable, I'll be honest. It may be very hurtful, especially looking at the Seven of Swords with the lovers and, this person wanting to start something new in terms of how you can be more receptive. You're feeling like the Hermit. There's a lot of things here that's talking about a relationship and possibly separating from it. And let's move on. Let's see here. So how will this impact your potential? So this person, I can see this person being alone. As you can see, there's a lot of lone cards here in terms of this like single person, especially all the male energy. This person will be alone. And if you're a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter, but this is actually a good sign for you. In terms of your intention, by addressing the Seven of Swords, whatever actions that might have hurt you or wronged you in the past from someone else who did something very sneaky, you will gain new insight and wisdom in terms of that. And also, this person here, in terms of the King of Swords, they know exactly the truth, and they know who they are, and they judge others fairly. And so here, you may even learn, unfortunately, maybe not currently, obviously with the Three of Swords, but ultimately in the future, you may learn to have a little bit more understanding and compassion, even though this person did something wrong. Obviously, if this person did something wrong, this will help you find the truth in all the situation at the very least, even if it is painful. And honestly, sometimes the King of Swords, may mean actual expert help with someone who is an expert in a certain field or a certain expertise of some kind. So here it could be, this person may have cheated, may have hurt you badly, and how will it impact? You may even find that you both, hopefully, may want to continue the relationship, that this person did something wrong, and maybe he might be feeling, or he or she might be feeling, a little heartbroken about it too, and may feel true guilt for their actions. So here you might actually enlist the help of someone who's an expert in terms of mending the relationship, or possible, relationship therapy, or anything like that. This person is full of knowledge, the King of Swords, and wisdom and clarity in who they are. So you may get a sense of clarity in terms of who you are and how this whole thing has affected you, allowing you to understand exactly who you are, what you need, who you need to be with. Or you may even enlist the help of an expert, hopefully in terms of, if you guys choose to be together, in terms of how you want to repair the relationship. And at the other extreme, maybe even a lawyer if you guys want to break up if you're married. It's possible in terms of there's a lot of strong cards here that create a very strong story. So in terms of, let's look at this all together. We have the Seven of Swords. In terms of a new intention, it seems like you want to confront someone who has possibly wronged you in the past. Someone who has done something very shady, very sneaky, maybe not very forthcoming and about his actions or his or her actions, and you want to confront this person. And the person that you want to talk to looks like to be a lover. It looks like to be a boyfriend, girlfriend. It could be a spouse. It could be just a long committed partner, a significant other, whatever it is. It's the one that is most closest to you that possibly did something really shady and possibly that you were very suspicious of and you want to get down to the bottom of it. In terms of barrier to communication, this person may express to you that they want to just experiment, that they want to play around, that they want to figure out what they want in life and what they want in a relationship in terms of their passions. They may just want to be alone and just try and figure that out. And so how can you be more receptive during this conversation is you have to understand, hopefully be understanding of exactly who they are and exactly what they want. They shouldn't have been in a relationship in the first place if that's how they felt. That's their wrong. But in the Hermit, you have to understand and let that person know exactly how it is that their actions have affected you. This is all about you. So here you have to tell that person how your actions of this affected you and the relationship. How did your sneakiness, possible cheating or infidelity or lies or whatever deception or whatever hurt that person caused, how did it affect you? How did it affect the relationship? And what is it that you will learn exactly? You might learn a very hard lesson in terms of love, in terms of heartbreak, in terms of feeling lost, feeling betrayed, feeling very hurt in terms of that. And that's something that, hell, if this person did cheat, you might as well go through this heartbreak so you can get over it quicker and just get it over with already. You know, if this person is not right for you, if they truly want to go out there and explore and express themselves with all these other people and play around, no judgment, but don't let it, that person is not the right one for you. Just let them go. Deal with the heartbreak, you know? The heartbreak is more worth it in the long run, you know, just to let that person go. And not to say it's easy, not to say that you know, you should want this, but, you know, it's better to go through this because there's healing from this. If you stay with this person, there is no healing. That's a dead end, you know? So, and finally, and what is the impact this has on the potential? So here, it looks like that you will either come to some true clarity about exactly what it is that you want from this experience with this guy in terms of your relationship, guy or girl rather, you know, and you will gain some clarity in terms of what it is that you truly want in a relationship, the type of person that you want in a relationship, the type of characteristics the person will have to make you happy, and in terms of your overall goal, in terms of what you truly need in a relationship. And hopefully, if you have to go to an expertise of some kind, hopefully, if you want to stay together and work on it, hopefully you'll find some type of counselor, relationship counselor, or if you really want to break it off, there may be something that has to deal with a lawyer or someone, and if you are married, in terms of really trying to split up with the person if they've truly done you wrong after being together for a long period of time. So I think with this deck, it tells a very strong story in terms of love and a relationship. And so if this does resonate with you, you have the right to the truth. And that's something that is worth exploring, especially if it is with a loved one, especially if there's shadiness going on that you are suspicious of. And it may be difficult, obviously, but, you know, it'll be worth it because at least you will understand exactly who you are and what you need in life to be happy. So that's all I see for this cards. I mean, these the stack guys. So let's move on to the next. Let's see. Okay, guys. So we're gonna move on to stack number 3. Let's go. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay, so let's see. In terms of a new moon intention that you possibly have on your mind, we have the Devil card reversed. Devil card usually it can scare a lot of people, be very intimidating, but with the reversed aspect of the Devil, it's actually a little bit more positive for you. So if this is something that you're going to resonate with, hopefully you'll look at it in a more positive way. So with the Devil card, this is all about exploring our shadow self, exploring all the negative things about ourselves that we may not like, or the things that we may have trouble accepting in our life. So with the Devil card, we are looking at things like our vices, our ways of thinking, our habits, our ways that we just operate through life that may not be serving us right now. You are looking at your shadow self because you just want to kind of purge all these things out of you already so you can start healing and allow new things to come into your life. You're delving deep into that darkness because you want to get rid of all those things. You want to address them. You want to come to peace with them. Not necessarily get rid of them because that's not the point. These things are always going to be part of you. But the fact that you can change things, you can learn to accept them, and they don't have to rule your actions or your habits or whatever it is. So with the Devil card, this is a strong intention, especially as a major arcana card, if this is something that resonates with you. So in terms of someone you can talk to, you got the King of Pentacles. So with the King of Pentacles, possibly in terms of what you want to address, it might be in terms of your physical realm. So this person, he is someone who possibly is financially inept. This person possibly has some struggle with money, who has struggle with trying to keep financial stability or or just having a good financial foundation. So this person, he can also be very impatient. This person could have all these aspects right here in terms of the Devil card that you possibly can relate to at this point. This person has gone through things where he has not been successful, where he has lost money, where he has had certain aspects of himself that just didn't make him be the type of person he wants to be or have the life that he wanted to have. And so this is something where even though this person may have negative experiences in his life, it's still a learning process for you that you can learn what not to do in life in terms of who it is that you can talk to and can offer you some insight. So let's see, a barrier to communication, the Seven of Cups reversed. So with the Seven of Cups as a barrier to communication, this could be either you or this person, but this person may be very, let me put it this way, very ADD. they get just a shiny object syndrome, you know. So as you may try and talk with this person, they may trail off into all these different tangents and not making any sense. Or also with yourself, you may say something that may trigger you to start thinking about a certain aspect, and you just go along with it and stop paying attention. So here, it's about focusing your intention on the communication right here. Is to try and understand if you are really going through this phase right now where you are purging all of these negative aspects about yourself, and you're dealing with someone who has been through possibly that same journey, and all the things that he's come to face with doing those same actions. You have to learn to focus your communication then if you are going to talk to this person, so you can make sure to learn from his experiences and make sure that his present isn't going to become your future. So here is asking you to really focus in and not be stuck in this dreamy state where everything is shiny and you're just looking at all these options about stuff. To really be present in this communication right now, so you can get the most of it and not fall into the trap of darkness, not to fall into the trap of just accepting your shadow self as your true self, because that's not the truth. So in terms of how to improve your receptiveness, wow. Right here, the Tower card. So the Tower card and the Devil card, these ones actually come one right after the other. The Tower card comes right after the Devil card, and the Tower card is about a big drastic change. Look, this is a big drastic change. In terms of being receptive, you have to understand that's the goal of all this. If you're going to find these people and communicate, you have to be present, and you have to start understanding that there's something here in my life right now that I want to get rid of, that is not working for me, that is not here to help me, and I have to get rid of it. I have to find solutions through other people, through others' experiences, which are also negative, but I have to learn how to make sure that I'm not going to follow in their footsteps, that I have to change this immediately, and this is going to be a big, drastic change. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. That's the point. You're trying to change your life and purge yourself from all these things that don't serve you. All these things that don't serve you, even with the Seven, all these choices, all these things that don't serve you, you're going to learn from someone here on the physical realm of how not to be. And what footsteps not to follow, so you don't become that person. And so here, in terms of receptiveness, understand that you are going to change, and that you want to change, and that should be the focus of all of this. In terms of how to be receptive, be in the present, understand that this is all for your change and for a big change for you, not for anyone else. So this is something that you have to focus on. So let's move on in terms of what insight you will learn. Look, another pentacle right here, Knight of Pentacles. So what you're going to learn is about making sure that of unstable foundations. Here, look, we're talking about foundations again. Look, unstable foundations, not taking care of your home life, not taking care of yourself, and the foundation of just being stable within yourself first before you start putting yourself out there into the world. So here, you're learning about, I think, especially through this person, especially with the Pentacles here from King to Knight, I mean, you're learning about what it is, or what it's like to not be stable in your current life right now, to not be stable on the earthly realm, whether it be your finances, or it could be something with your health, or whatever it is, your work life, whatever it is. This person may be a workaholic. This person may not be good at spending. This person may have bad health, and you may learn a lot of wisdoms on what not to do from this person, because here, as a knight, you're on your way to becoming a king. You're on your way to taking actions. And so you're learning from his mistakes here. You're learning what not to do. You're learning about instability. You're learning about not taking care of yourself on the physical realm in terms of your body, your health, your domestic life, whatever it is. So that's something that you're going to learn in terms of an insight that you're going to gain from this conversation with this person. And so how will this impact your potential intention? Six of Swords, that's it. Six of Swords is about transition, is about moving on, is about moving on to something new. This person leaves one side of the river for the other, a very emotional journey shown by the water right here. And this person had to go. This person had to move on and let go of all the baggage that this person carries. Let go of the past, let go of the negativity, let go of all the circumstances. Don't let those things be the focus or excuse for you anymore. This person has to move on and transition to something better, and they do. They let go of their baggage. They let go of the things that don't serve them. Look at that, the Devil card. They let go of it through the Tower card, the big changes that we have to do and understand about ourselves so we can become who we want to be, become the best version of ourselves. So here, especially, what impact all of this has in terms of this information is here to just try and move on, to just try and find peace and to let go of the things that don't serve us so we can find new things that do and start incorporating those things into our life. So, let's see here. Let's go over in summary, guys, exactly what this all means. So, in terms of an intention that you have, you're ready to purge something out of your life that no longer serves you. You're willing to delve in deep into the darkness of your mind, your shadow self, whatever you may want to call it, and you want to start working in terms of facing those things that don't serve you, facing those things and trying to get rid of them. I don't want to say get rid of them, but trying to find peace with them. Either to change them or accept them, but to not let them have control over what it is, over your conscious external life anymore. For them not to surface in ways that are not helping you. In terms of someone who to talk to, someone who's possibly been through that road before, through their physical realm. So this is someone who maybe had problems with spending or overspending, someone who doesn't have good finances, someone who probably doesn't have good health. And this person, you're going to be learning a lot through this person because these are the steps that you don't want to take. These are the steps that you don't want to follow in. So that's the wisdom that you're learning. And here, in terms of a barrier to communication, make sure that you are present, that you are not going to be in this dreamy state of shiny object syndrome where your attention is going to be put everywhere in all these different directions instead of missing exactly that you're here right now for a purpose. And what is that purpose? It's for change. In terms of being more receptive, you have to understand that you're going through a big change right now. This is about change. You're trying to change this. And so you have to understand that you have to be present when you're in this conversation. You can't be stuck thinking about all these other things in your life yet. Just be in this conversation so you can learn and gain the wisdom and insight that you need to. And what is it that you will learn? You will learn about what it's like to not have stable foundations, to not take care of yourself, what happens when you don't take care of your domestic life, take care of your body, take care of your finances, if you don't do the due diligence of just taking care of yourself. And even here in terms of work, not just money and health, but in terms of work, this person also could be a workaholic. In terms of here, you could be stuck just taking care of everything and losing the magic in life, feeling so bored and dull with everything that you start losing and feeling the spark in life, the whole point of life, to feel alive. So here there's a lot that you can learn in terms of someone who has gone through a lot over here. And how is this going to help you? It's going to help you move on through this wisdom, even though it may be wisdom through failure, but you're learning through other people's failure, not your own. Maybe you've gone to a spot where maybe you did fail, honestly, getting the Devil and the Tower card, where something did have to change. But the impact it has is going to just be positive. It's going to help you move on and transition to where you want to be, to where you are supposed to be in terms of the type of person you want to be, the things you want to be doing, the life you want to be living, etc. And you're willing to let go of this baggage and to start healing. Going through this rough transition, honestly, this person is not that happy transitioning. It's a very rough transition with the Devil and the Tower card, honestly. But it's a transition that needs to be made if you're going to start living your life and being exactly who you want to be. So this is a great journey. It's got to be a hard journey. I can kind of see it with the Devil, Tower, and all these other reverse aspects right here. But it's going to be a journey that's overall worth it if you pursue it. And so you have to start, if you pursue this conversation, you may learn something very useful that will help you transition down the road. And that's all I see for this stack, guys. So let's going to move on to the next. Let's see. Okay, guys, so we're going to move on to stack number 4. Final one. Let's see what we got. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, so let's see. In terms of a new moon intention that you may have for yourself, we got the Eight of Wands right here. So the Eight of Wands is about having a surge of energy that you have right now and that you want to put into the best use possible. The Eight of Wands is one of the saying is strike while the iron is hot. So here it's the same exact thing. You have all this energy right now and you could put it to really good use, but it's just understanding and focusing that energy into something that is meaningful to you. And maybe that new moon intention works in with that, trying to understand that, hey, I have this energy right now, what should I use it on? What is the way to get the most productivity, to get the results that I want, to get the anything that I want right now? And that may be the new moon intention in terms of how to focus this energy right here with the Eight of Wands. So let's move on. Let's see who can offer some insight. So looks like the King of Cups can offer some insight. So the King of Cups, this person, I love how everything's been court cards pretty much for who to meet. So amazing. But the King of Cups, he is about emotional stability. Look, he is on this little platform right here, the stone platform in the middle of the ocean. You can actually see a ship in the background over there. But he has emotional stability throughout his whole life. He is not easily swayed by his emotions, by the seas, by the flow of everything. He knows how to keep himself in check and to be calm throughout all situations and not let his emotions get the best of him. He is emotionally stable, emotionally mature, emotionally accountable, and he knows how to handle his emotions. Not necessarily repress them. He knows that there is a time and a place for emotion, and he knows when that time is and when to let them out. So there could be something here, especially with the water and fire elements right here. There could be something in terms of your emotion, how your emotions may affect how you want to use this energy. And this person may be able to teach you how to use your emotions wisely in order to really focus them in some type of sense, to kind of temper each of these, have them a tempering effect on one another since they are opposites. So let's move on to challenges to communication. So we got the Ace of Pentacles. So in terms of challenge to communication, you may see this as a missed opportunity, as a poor investment, this conversation. You may not even want to talk to this person or think that you need any help right now and that you don't want to seek help. You may seem like, I don't feel like talking to anyone. I don't want to talk to this person. I feel emotionally fine already, all this other stuff. And it's going to be a barrier to communication. I think that you can always have something to learn from someone if you choose to be open and if you choose to see it that way, obviously. But a barrier to communication is that, you may not feel the need to. You may see it as just a poor investment of your time and your energy right now, which I think is good, especially with the being the new moon in Gemini right now. It is about being open. It's about having open communication so that we can become clear on the things that we want. And here, I think there's something here emotional that this person can give you in terms of your emotions, maybe some emotional stability, emotional wisdom, whatever it is. And it's not necessarily something that will be a waste of your time. It could be very beneficial to you. I think especially if it's coming up in the cards, it is beneficial to you. So let's move on to how to improve your receptiveness. So in terms of being receptive, it's the Eight of Swords right here. So with the Eight of Swords, it may be asking you to limit your your responses, or be more limiting in terms of your interaction with this person and your conversation. So I could totally see here in terms of, if you see this as a poor investment or a poor use of your time, but you choose to take it anyway, where if you go into this conversation, you may just want to almost reassure the person that, okay, I know exactly what's going on. I'm just talking to you because I feel like I need to, but I'm fine pretty much. That's the wrong way of going about it in terms of being receptive and listening. So here it's asking you to kind of hold back, kind of look at this person. This person is limited. This person is restricted. And usually that's what this card means. And so here it is about limiting your responses, limiting your interaction to interrupt them possibly, and to allow this person to speak, to get their message across, and to allow the insight to flow. And here on your end, not only are you trying to limit your interactions and trying to not interrupt them, but you're trying to also be receptive understand that here, look, this person's even blindfolded, tied up, everything. The only thing they have access to right now is their ears and the ability to hear. So here is asking you just to limit yourself and to just be open and be in this present moment. Don't go off anywhere else. Be in this present moment. Use your ears. Remove all the other senses, thinking also involved, and just use your ears and listen. Just listen to the person. Give this person a chance. Especially as the King of Cups, I think this person could be very, very beneficial to you on an emotional aspect. So, let's see. So let's move on in terms of what is the insight that you can learn. Okay, so the moon reversed, that's exactly what it is. So the moon reversed, with the moon reversed, it's talking about you going through the night, through the darkness, and when you're going through the darkness, things may look a certain way, and when in reality they aren't a certain way. You may see things in the dark, things that aren't really there, illusions, all this other stuff. And so here, in terms of the moon reverse, it's talking about re-evaluating exactly in your deepest sense what your connection is to your feelings. Especially with the moon, it's all about feeling and your intuition and your emotions. So here it's asking you, is there anything about your emotions or your thoughts here that you have misinterpreted? Are you in reality repressing some type of emotions or your feelings in some type of sense, or even repressing your expression of any kind? So here, this is kind of a re-evaluation of your emotional state on its deepest level and on its deepest sense. I feel like from having this conversation with this person, the insight that you get is a re-evaluation of your emotional self. And when you allow yourself to be broken down and build yourself up into something that is most aligned with who you are currently, that is the best position that you could be in terms of using all this resourceful energy that you have right here. So here, in terms of this conversation, you may have to, and I don't want to sound insulting, but it seems like there's a lot of ego going on up here, where you feel like, I'm emotionally fine, I don't need to talk to this person, and even if I do, I may just not even want to listen to the person and just try and interrupt them and one up them or whatever. And so here, it's really talking about understanding yourself. Even if you are emotionally stable right now, you can always go deeper in your understanding and wisdom of yourself. There is no limit. It's infinite. It's bottomless. So understand that here, when you take this chance, and hopefully you do take this chance to talk to this person, don't come in with preconceived notions or what he's going to ask, or what you're going to say back. Understand that this is about your reevaluating your emotions. So even if you are emotionally stable, there's more to learn. There's always more to learn. So here, they may reevaluate everything that you know about your emotions, your emotional state, everything like that. This person will bring these up, all these emotions, all these questions, and so you will have a great opportunity to learn more about yourself emotionally and build yourself up into someone who will serve you emotionally now, not just in the past occurrences, but literally in this present moment. And so, how does this impact your potential intention? So here, I think if you chose not to take this, especially with the King of Wands reversed, if you chose not to take this this opportunity and see it as a waste of your time, this is what would have happened to you. You would have become the King of Wands reversed. King of Wands reversed is all about having grandiose visions, being overly ambitious, not being connected to reality in terms of what they want to achieve, extremely high expectations, and and that will come with, I think, someone who has all this energy but is emotionally unaware that they could get caught up in their feelings and be caught up in such a dreamy state where they create big visions for themselves. They get overly ambitious in trying to attain something which may not be attainable at this moment, where they have to scale back a little bit. So here, if you don't take this opportunity, well, the fact that you did take this opportunity, let's talk about it that way. The fact that you did take this opportunity is the fact that you have, in terms of your potential intention, this will help to understand exactly what this person is, how this person would have become you if you didn't take this time to talk to this person. Understand that, hey, I have all this energy to do something great, but if I don't temper my emotions with the actions, it could turn into this. It could turn into delusions of grandeur. It could turn to overly dreaminess, where you can think you can get a lot done and expect to get a lot done, and have this grand vision, but it's truly not attainable if you don't temper your emotions with temper your emotions and your passions together. Water and fire, that's what it's all about. And here, water and fire, I think the moon especially has to do with your emotions and everything. And here on a bigger aspect as a King of Wands reversed. So here, let's go through a quick overview real quick. So in terms of a new intention, you have a lot of energy that you want to use right now. You want to use it for yourself, and you want to use it most productively. You just have to figure out what to focus on. And here in terms of someone you can talk to, find someone who is emotionally stable and who actually knows themselves emotionally very well, who is very calm, who is not easily swayed with their emotions, who knows when to be emotional and when not to be. And understand that talking to this person, even if you are emotionally stable right now, it is a good use of your time. It is not, in terms of a barrier, it is not a waste of your time. It is not a poor investment. It is worth talking to this person. And if you talk to this person, really focus on being receptive. Hold yourself back a little bit. If he's telling you something that you know, that's fine. Let it in your ear, let it out the other ear, and then hold on to the things that are meaningful to you, to the wisdoms that are there. Even though he may be repeating a lot of things that you know, it may solidify a lot of things that you know about yourself, and you may have more conviction toward them now. So here is talking about limiting yourself and being open and surrendering your power to this person so you can learn some wisdom and gain some insight. In terms of what type of insight you will learn, this conversation will allow you, especially as a major arcana card, it will allow you to reevaluate your emotions and to look into any thoughts or emotions that you have repressed, or anything that you have misinterpreted about yourself, or certain emotions, especially with emotions as a king and as the moon. So here you are able to reevaluate yourself and create yourself into an emotional being that will be able to serve you now in this present moment. And so in terms of how will this affect your journey, going through all this, you were able to understand that, hey, if I didn't have my emotions in check, if I didn't reevaluate my emotions, I would have gone down this path as the King of Wands reversed. I would have had such grandiose visions. I would have had unrealistic expectations. I would have been overly ambitious and not tempered my emotions and my passions together and used that energy to temper one another. And I would have just led toward failure, into a dead end of some kind. So here, into unrealistic territory, into dream states over here. So here it allows you to understand yourself emotionally even on a deeper sense, and to hopefully reuse this energy, or actually just use this energy into a way where that is beneficial to you, that makes sense for you, that is grounded in real goals and not necessarily swayed by emotions. And I think that's all I see for this stack, guys, and I think that is all that we got for today. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed your reading and that we were able to connect through the cards. I hope that we were able to raise our awareness, gain new insight, but most of all that we had some fun today. And even if we didn't connect through the cards, I wanted to offer a 1-card general daily reading, advice reading that you can use today. And what I drew was actually the 6 of Wands reversed. So with the 6 of Wands, this deals with our relationship with our confidence, also with our understanding and relationship with the recognition and approval of others. With the approval of others, on one spectrum, as with the reverse state, we could be lacking self-confidence. We could be doubting ourselves, our capabilities, our worth, all these things when we don't get the approval of others. And also on the other side, when we don't get the approval, we could also become overconfident to try and compensate for that. Thinking that people don't believe in us, so we have to be overconfident and arrogant, let our ego take over, and sometimes think that we're better than other people, that we have all the answers, that we know everything. And so this card asks you to meditate and understand what your relationship is in terms of others' approval, recognition of others, and do you need it to feel justified and successful? This card really asks you to redefine what it is to be successful in your life and your overall journey. Do you need others' approval? Do you need others' outward praise and to tell you that you're doing a good job, or that they understand and accept everything that you're doing? Sure, those things are great, but honestly, in terms of you achieving your goal, it may not be necessary. I'll be honest. Those people, if they don't understand you, if they don't get you, well then they will weed themselves out of your life. You have to continue pushing through and what you think and what you believe in yourself, what you believe your true path is in life. And the people who don't understand, they will weed themselves out, and you will find more people who understand and approve of you and understand what you're doing. They will gravitate to you and they will find you. So that's the advice that I have for today, and I think that's all I got for today, guys. So I just want to say thank you guys again so much. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.